You're watching Pick of the Flicks with Tony Douglas, and welcome to my Rating the Movies web series, where I take a movie, be it new release, retro favourite, cult flick or classic, and give it a star rating out of 5. On with the show.
It's time to open the vault for a lost slasher flick.
Just when you thought it was safe to go into the woods comes the final terror. Hi and welcome to Rating the Movies with Tony Douglas. Today we dust off a largely forgotten 1980s teen slasher flick that has recently made its way to Blu-ray. Billed with the terrifying tagline, "Without knowing, they have awakened an unknown force. Can anyone survive?" This is the final terror, a real curiosity piece for a number of reasons. From its amazing pre-stardom cast lineup to its problematic distribution and numerous name changes. This is one lost film with a lot to talk about. Production on the final terror was completed in 1981, but the film failed to find a distributor and sat on the shelf for 2 years. During this period, the film underwent a number of name changes. At one point it was titled Carnivore. It was then changed to Bump in the Night and then to Campsite Massacre. They just couldn't make up their minds. Another 3 working titles also scrapped with The Forest Primeval, The Creeper and 3 Blind Mice, the song sung on the bus by the Campers. Finally, when the film was released in theatres in 1983, it was titled The Final Terror, although subsequent US TV screenings have still labelled it as Carnivore. The Final Terror was directed by Andrew Davis, who would later go on to direct big-budget action films such as Code of Silence with Chuck Norris, Under Siege with Steven Seagal, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, and Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So here we have a slasher film with a director at the helm who was clearly on the rise. At his disposal, Andrew had a cast consisting of a number of faces who were on the fringe of superstardom. The ensemble included British actress Rachel Ward before she hit it big on TV's The Thornbirds, Daryl Hannah on the verge of Reckless and Splash, Adrian Zmed on the cusp of Grease 2 and Bachelor Party, and Lewis Smith prior to Buckaroo Banzai and The Heavenly Kid. Add to this prolific character actor Joe Pantoliano and you have an amazing cast that you not only recognise but wonder how they managed to round up for such a bizarre film. As it turns out, the script doesn't give the actors a lot to say, and the real stars of the final terror are the carefully calculated suspense sequences and the Californian redwood forest locations. The plot is strictly by the numbers. Whilst camping in the woods, a group of young forest rangers are confronted by a maniacal killer. The end result is a survival of the fittest, a kill or be killed adventure with some whitewater rafting thrown in for good measure. I could say more about the camouflage killer, but it's probably best to let you experience it all for yourself. The final terror runs for a crisp 82 minutes, with the first 40 minutes building up suspense and tension. Unfortunately, a lot of the scenes are filmed at night with poor lighting, and this detracts from the overall look of the film. Thankfully, the new remastered Blu-ray print does its best to improve on these issues. Also, the Blu-ray does include the infamous violent pre-credit sequence that was not in the original cut of the film. This sequence was inserted into the movie last minute at the distributor's request. The idea was to bump up the film's body count and market the picture as a horror rather than a thriller. This sequence was not directed by Andrew Davis and features a pre-Footloose Jim Youngs as a victim. All in all, The Final Terror is a low-budget thriller with a splash of Deliverance, a dash of Southern Comfort, a sprinkling of Friday the 13th, and a creepy music score that adds flavour to the fear factor. Unfortunately, the characterisations are weak, and in the end we are left with a very average wilderness slasher flick with an above-average cast that is sadly underutilised. Yes, the final terror of the title might blend into the rocky marshes and nighttime scenery with ease, but one thing is for sure, it ain't no Predator. My rating for The Final Terror is 2 stars. So what do you think about the movie? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Better still, why not give us your star rating out of 5? Well, until next time, this is Tony Douglas signing off for Rating the Movies. But before you go, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.